YouTube, I'm back. It's Tone, Toone, and I'm back to um, go into a little bit of what the pyramid blocks were made of, and then potentially what the purpose of the structure itself is, right? And so that's going to be based on the composition and the architecture and the structure of this building. So we're going to try to deduce based on the composition of the stone what this may or may not have been used for. So we're going to go. And the first picture that we have is a woman sitting on these blocks. And if you look close at these blocks, you can see that they're brittle, right? They're brittle stone. It's an obvious composite mix aggregate of, from what they say, is crystalline crystals, essentially crushed crystals, a concrete mix aggregate obviously here, and the mix was a little bit different than what they use today. You can absolutely still make these today, they just don't, to make you think that you can't, but you can, because look at what it is. And it's not these perfectly laser cut etched stones that they would have you believe were there, and they're not perfectly level or any of that. You look here, you can see that they're obviously poured stone. They mixed the concrete and they poured these stones. It was not thousands of slaves hauling these things up, wooden planks and all types of crazy ass nonsense. Absolutely not. Dudes probably coming up with 50-pound bags, dumping them in the mixer and pouring the bricks, and then you let them set. And naturally, water always needs a level and will meet at its level. So if this is liquefied, it's all gonna meet level. No way you're gonna get these things level unless you're pouring them. I don't care what type of, and any mason would obviously know that too. You're not putting a hair like the thickness of a hair, what do you call it, mortar on here, and then setting this thing level. Yeah. Yeah, right, bro. Tell me another one. So, next picture. Next picture that we have here is what materials are the pyramids made of? And it says the pyramid at Giza have more than 5 million blocks of limestone, until now believed to be carved stone. New evidences show that they were cast with agglomerated limestone concrete. The website reveals how ancient Egyptians built the pyramids using man-made stones, which look exactly like natural rocks. So, I mean, it already says it here too. And you're going to start to see why as we get toward the end, why they would lie to you and tell you that they were burial chambers for that long. And you're going to tell me that these people saw all these stones at that point and were still under the impression that these were natural stones? Where are you getting these natural stones from? Because they don't make, stones don't come naturally mixed with crystals and all types of random things like that in order for you to build this electric machine, essentially, is what it is. Right? So the next picture that we have says the blocks of the pyramid do contain halite, NaCl. I'm not sure what that is. Since they were made like geopolymer concrete, they also contain moisture. It migrates to the surface, dries, and the NaCl salt crystallizes. That probably could have been construed as the mortar mix that they were putting there. But obviously, you know that all these stones were liquefied at one point. It's the only way you're going to get these things level and to have any type of stability moving forward and moving up. Only way. The pyramid at Giza had more than 5 million blocks of limestone. All right, yeah, so that's what I just read there. So the next picture that we have here that you may find interesting. This goes into the subject of piezoelectricity. You may or may not know what this is, but I'm going to tell you. Piezoelectricity is the reason why they mixed the composition of these blocks, which are huge, heavy blocks, with a mix of different things in order to conduct electricity. Where are they getting the power from? The power comes from piezoelectricity, and this is how it works. So piezo crystals, special minerals with electromagnetic properties, can produce an electric field whenever they are mechanically deformed or subject to vibration, commonly known as piezoelectric effect. Besides, piezo cells have small positively charged particles at their center. This small particle is forced to move and create a charge whenever force is exerted on the crystal, right? That's how that works. Over here, it goes a little more into it on the right-hand side. So it says, piezoelectricity is the electric charge that accumulates in certain solid materials such as crystals, certain ceramics, and biological matter such as bone. Such as bone. So you can get power from your bones. DNA and various proteins in response to applied mechanical stresses. So it's going to come from pressure, any type of movement, the vibration, etc. is going to make these crystals put out an electric charge. And as you can imagine, the size of the pyramid, how much power is coming out of that. The word piezoelectricity means electricity resulting from pressure and latent heat. It's hot in Egypt and there's a lot of pressure on those stones. It is derived from the Greek word piezine, which means to squeeze or press, which means amber, an ancient source of electricity, was used as a charge as well at one point, right? So you're starting to get an idea why they would make an aggregate mix with crystals in it, and what this building was actually used for now. And what about piezoelectricity? So you see this guy here. You see this guy here on top of these stones, so you can get an idea of the size and the weight of these things. And you can obviously still see that these were not perfect stones. They were not cut from a quarry and dragged over here. None of that. None of that. They probably mixed it on site, if I had to imagine, right? So you see all the weight of this, every single pound, all the movement from the surrounding area, and the heat is going to make these blocks emit an electrical charge, which are going to meet at the top, at the point, like a mountain, and it's all going to peak at the top. That's where all of your power is going to come out of the top, and then you can take it and direct it in any which way that you feel. So more than likely, we'll get into this in a different video, what they were using it for, and what some of the chambers on the inside were used for. The Ark of the Covenant, and what I believe was inside of that as a fluid in order to be a conduit for the atmosphere to the fluid to the realm that we currently reside in. So a little more into what piezoelectricity is. Here's another definition. It's an adjective relating to involving electric polarization resulting from the application of mechanical stress. So that would be a definition. And then here at the end, the last picture that we have. Hang on, let me. All right, so the last picture that we have here is what is the internal structure of the Great Pyramid? So it says the internal structure of the Great Pyramid, the electrical design of the pyramid, the structure and design of the pyramids emphasize its electrical nature even more. The outer casing of the pyramid was covered with a white tufa limestone. The white tufa limestone does not contain magnesium as high as, and then this definition gets cut off. So, you know, and you can even see these in modern day buildings. So if you go ahead and you look around your city, look around your town, you know, in places that people don't normally look, you're going to find all types of structures that shouldn't be there, right? You're going to find pyramids there. There's pyramids on every single continent. Everywhere you think there's not pyramids. All the mountains that you see are probably covered pyramids, right? On top of that. And then even just your regular buildings, your cathedrals, your castles, these are all going to be made the same way. They're all made with poured blocks using crystalline structure as some of the filler in order to produce an electrical charge. So essentially all these buildings are free energy structures. Okay? So you're starting to get an idea of why these people were trying to tell you that these were burial chambers, so you didn't figure this out, so you didn't look around your city and figure all that out. And so if you think that that's interesting, I got some videos I'm going to do about some time travel and things like that too, if you guys are interested in really understanding how this realm works, you know. So I think a lot of people may find that interesting to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are going to find that interesting. So that's all for today. Have a good day and use your head, people.